Today we're going to look at this Malagueñas lesson. It's not really a song per se, it's more just a few lines of flamenco Spanishy sounding stuff that you can use to put into your own playing. But when you play them all together, you'll get a little piece, which is great. What I did was I played the intro there, D minor, C, B flat, but with no bar. That gives us a B flat major seventh, and then a simple A chord. It's kind of the hit the road jack, old style. But in Spanish music, it's a very prominent chord progression. And we're also going to put the harmonic scale with this. I did that at the very end line. This is the line that it goes. Nice and slow. Now you notice that scale, it's a D minor scale, but we have a C sharp in it. That makes the A seventh chord work with that. And it sounds C sharp. It gives that very harmonic flamenco sound to it, okay? So let's go right through the lines one at a time. The very top line, you can play just these simple chords. And I like putting that B flat major seventh. A lot of flamenco guitarists will leave open. And they're just playing a C, B flat, A. But when you leave open strings, they ring against each other. And this one's written with a D minor, C. You could play a C here, or even a C without a bar, and leave that open string. And at the end of the line, you mark it by going A, B flat, A, and that sets up sort of the beginning of the song. So the very beginning, you can play any way you want. And then, very dramatic. Now, this line here, you'll recognize right away. It's a kind of a famous line. This one's a little bit different melody. And that's back to the harmonic minor. It's not a hard thing. I'm just doing it all with my thumb right now. If I was going fast, I'd probably use these two guys. But here's the thing. If you make the chord really short, and you speed up each time, you can even slow down at the end. So this is a very up and down, tempo-wise kind of thing, but it's loads of fun because you can work on your technique. You can push a little bit, you can go back, you can play soft, you can play loud, kind of any way you want. It's all in groups of three, but it's really free, okay? So here we go again. I'm going to end on that A again, and that's kind of our home base for this Spanish sound. Even though we're playing in D minor, if you make the A chord the home base, you get that sound. Okay? Now the next line starts off with our famous sort of bullfighter sound. Once again, you can make some of them short. What I do here, watch this, I'm going to hold on to this note the whole time. Same thing with this one, right on the D. What I'm really doing is outlining the A, dun, 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 D minor, dun, 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 dun. Once again, we start slow, kind of speed up and ramp and come up and down. It's loads of fun. You'll hear. Here's the fancy part. We're going to add our middle finger on just the first string on the A, in between. And it's not very hard, but it sounds really fancy. can slow down and speed up again with that. Now the next line is even fancier, and it's not as hard as you think. It's triplets. We're going to go with your middle finger first, and then back to your index. So it's going to be thumb, thumb, middle, index. Hey, just try this on one. It's not very hard, but then you put your thumb on the melodies for this tremolo section. And if you do it all day long, you get really fast, and it's really not as hard as you think. But the fun part is putting all three of these together. So let me start actually with the melody even before that. And I've just finished that section now. Big breath. I'm going to add the middle finger. Now I'm going to slow down and at the very end there's a specific line here that uses that harmonic minor. And that lands on D minor. But what you can do, take this scale, just up and down, and just play that over and over, and you'll make up your own melodies after a while. So, or what's written exactly there is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's the very end of the song, or it's the very beginning again. Check this out. And I told you the arpeggio, let's use our two fingers like we did on the very beginning. And suddenly you have a really fancy sounding piece. You can even put this on strings 1 and 2. And you sound like $1,000,000, except you didn't have to work very hard. Believe me, it's a pretty easy thing. Thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, index. It's one of my favorite arpeggios. So I'll play the whole thing really slow. And just have fun with it. I mean, that's all you're doing is coming down this hit the road jack. Now here's the main melody. Now I changed it there a little bit. You hear that? That's almost like the Malagueñas, the famous one in the symphony. But any of those will work. After you're done messing around with that melody, go to the second part, and you'll hit I usually do it like twice, and then add. Now here comes the fancy. And then the very end. All right, so just play that in any order you like, and that's pretty much the lesson. Enjoy yourself and enjoy that Spanish sound.